Hello and welcome to another quick video tutorial from EpoxyJewelry.com. Today we're going to revisit a subject, and that is our glass cabochons. As you may have noticed, the acrylic adhesive, UV acrylic adhesive that we had before in our last video is no longer available. The manufacturer disappeared and I have been unable to locate a suitable supplier. So I've had some people tell me that they've used white glue, and some people tell me they've used weld bond, and our ink seal is similar, so I thought I'd do a trial with all three. So what I've got here is some graphics, little eyeballs here to fit our 25mm round cabochons. And in case you want to know, these graphics, like a lot of them I use, are from Cobra Graphics on Etsy, and so you can search for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, I guess, 2 up of each of these. I got 6 of these glasses here, and I'm going to apply and paint on some of the material, and then I will apply the cabochon, and then we're going to have to let them set. The weld bond takes 24 hours to set up, so I'm going to allow this to set up 24 hours. These other two, the Elmer's glue, white glue, and the ink seal, set up faster. But I'm not sure if they're going to set up at all, based on the fact that when you put the glass on there, it's kind of a sealed container. So this is a test, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do this part. I'm going to fast forward to this so that you don't have to wait for the whole thing. Okay, now I've got these all attached. I will say this. I noticed the Elmer's glue, this is an old bottle and it was a little clearish looking. I haven't used Elmer's glue in a while, so if this one doesn't work, I might try it again with just this one. Now for your information, I cleaned my brush thoroughly. All of these are water soluble, so I cleaned my brush in water and dried it before moving on to the next one. I put a nice big tub of water here so I could do that. Now I have to wait, let these set at least 24 hours. And the big thing is you can see that they're all milky. If they turn clear, that's the first test. The next test will be that I'm actually going to try and peel them off to see if they stick well. So adhesion test, because this is glass. If they dry clear, I have a feeling that the weld bond and the ink seal, I'm putting that upside down, sorry. I have a feeling that the weld bond and the ink seal will do the best, because these both are extremely tacky. The weld bond, you know, they call it, they say bonds most anything to anything kind of stuff. And the ink seal is just a very strong adhesive to begin with, and this is our own in-house product. And it's a little bit flexible too when it dries, so that can help prevent it from coming apart in certain situations. The regular glue, I don't give this much chance just because it's just PVA glue. It's okay, but it's not super strong unless it's a porous surface like paper, wood, cloth, anything that's porous. This will work good on. And remember, this paper is glossy photo paper, so it's basically plastic on the surface. So you're gluing glass to plastic, or there's some kind of a coating on here. I don't know if it's plastic or a lacquer or something like that. But anyway, two very hard surfaces to glue to, and we will see what happens. I'll come back and show you the results tomorrow. Quick update. It's been about 14 hours, and all of them have turned clear except for one weld bond one. It's still got some stuff in the middle. So I probably put more on this one than I did this one. So we're not all the way through the 24 hours yet, but thought I'd do a quick update and show you what's going on. Alright, it's been almost 36 hours since I started this test. I had a computer problem that I had to take care of, so it's kind of delayed. The weld bond took the longest to dry. This one right here, as you saw, had a little bit of extra in it, so it took even longer. Now that they're all dried, I noticed that all of them, except the weld bond, show signs of silvering inside. I don't know if you can see that. If you look in the iris, the black area, you might see a silveriness. That's air, which means that these two basically failed. The Elmer's has very large silvering inside. I don't know if you can see that right there. This one has a bunch of little small, like almost like pinprick silvering inside, but the weld bond doesn't have any. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the strength test, the adhesion test. So I'm going to start with the ink seal. I'm going to try to peel it off. It's stuck on there pretty good. Yeah, it ain't coming up. I'm going to rip the paper. Okay, we're going to go to the weld bond and try it. Uh-oh, that's not good. It took some effort. Now this is the one that had more weld bond on it. Okay, that one I can't get off. So I probably just didn't have enough on this one. This one is stuck down really good. Elmer's. Okay, same here. The Elmer's, it didn't have as much material came off, but the one that had more is on there really tight. Okay, so the weld bond that had more material and took longer to cure is the most, I would call it the most usable one. So my advice is use weld bond, use a lot of weld bond under it, don't be skimpy about it, and let it cure for several days. Don't get in a hurry with it. And now I should be able to simply cut that out. And I showed this in the previous video about these cabochons, but I just put the scissors right up against the edge and go around like this and cut. It's cutting off the excess glue with no problem. And that is now ready to put in a cabochon, or in one of our bezels, and ready to use. So, yes, weld bond can be used. Don't skimp out on it. Do a nice thick layer and let it dry for several days before you use it. 48 hours would probably be plenty. Like I said, I didn't get to it because I had a massive computer problem that I had to take care of. So that took me an entire day. Alright, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and of course visit us at EpoxyJewelry.com for all your jewelry supply needs. Thank you much for watching.